Is the tailback. Jacobs gets it and scores. Touchdown, Giants. And Jacobs.
Oh, yeah. We welcome in a man. This man that is the definition of a Madden truck stick. This 9-year load of a running back had over 5,800 total yards, a 4.5 yards per carry career average, and 64 total touchdowns, not to mention 2 Super Bowl rings. The man that nobody wanted to tackle. We welcome in the juggernaut, the creator, the Brandon Jacobs, man. Thanks for joining the show. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it's our pleasure. Really happy to be able to talk to a guy like yourself. At all the nicknames we said, any of them stick out as your favorite?
Say that again?
All the nicknames, the juggernaut, the creator. I know on your highlights, Chris Bergman used to go the.
Yeah.
No, it was there a favorite nickname or anything like that you had?
People, I mean, I kind of like the juggernaut. I kind of like that one. That one had more of a knowing the juggernaut and who was, that kind of spoke to me a little bit. Being the beat, all that. I think I like that one better than
You were intimidating force, man.
It's better than what my junior college coach gave me. Junior college coach Dick Spurlock called me Chocolate Thunder.
I like that.
That should have stuck. I love that name.
Chocolate Thunder. I'm like, I don't know about that one, man.
Well, man, first, before we dive into your career, because your career is packed with a bunch of good stuff, but I want to, the big reason why you're here, I want to first talk about the most important thing you're doing right now, one of the most important things, and that's the competitive youth football program in the North Atlanta Giants football. Can you tell us and our audience a little bit about that and kind of what you're doing with that?
So let me start off by saying, man, I got a bunch of great families in my program. It's going on our 4th year of existence. A lot of great coaches, man, great kids, just families that want their kids to learn how to be not too much be football players, but, work on being adults, you know what I mean? Like being good, having good humanities and things of that nature. So it's a whole lot of fun, man. So coaching kids from the ages of 8 to like 13 is awesome. I mean, I actually have fun doing it. I love getting out there working with the kids. And when we start talking about football, you catch them before they get a lot of bad habits. When you start working with them young, they hadn't created a lot of bad habits yet, and they kind of turn into the person that you want them to be after being with you for a while. So, man, it's good to see these kids grow up, man. I've been watching kids grow up since they were young kids, and now some of them are 13 years old, and it's kind of crazy to see what they hit puberty and what they're turning into, and what they're turning into. So it's actually a whole lot of fun doing it, man. And I take that and I coach high school football as well, so I take the same kids and try to bring them up into high school. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I love that you said your mission is developing self-confidence, great football skills, and overall great kids. And I think you can see that if these kids kind of get the right messages early on, that they can carry them a long way, whether it's college, pros, whatever. But you having kind of the experience to kind of teach them the right things, I think is so invaluable. So it's honestly it was awesome to be able to kind of read about it and see what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man, and we stick to that mission statement. We don't vary off much. Sometimes we have some kids. It's a little bit different, I always have a kid that don't get it at first, and he comes in and sometimes has a real bad attitude, temper problems, and just all types of stuff. But when he leaves, when the season is over, he's a better kid. That whole attitude problem isn't there anymore. Like he understands. He understands the big. They leave understanding the bigger picture and what they got to do.
No, I love that, and again, it's just a testament to the great stuff that you're doing, and I think it's a great program for everything I read, and it's awesome. I do want to dive a little bit now into your career a little bit, starting off with college because it's an interesting one. You started off at Coffeyville Community College, which I love the name, under Jeff Leiker and Dickie Rolls. And
also love that name.
Dickie Rolls, and it's ROLLS too. So like rolls, like really.
This is the best. I love it. But So you were everybody's worst nightmare kind of in that league. And then I think everybody kind of breathed a sigh of relief when you transferred to Auburn in 2003. You played with Cadillac Williams and then two friends of this show, Ronnie Brown and Jason Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And then you played behind those two backs for that one season you were there. And then you transferred to Division I AA Southern Illinois. Can you kind of describe your experience at each of these stops and what it was like playing behind those two first-round backs? Did it help you at all, you think, in development of your game?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, being around Lack and Ronnie, man, I mean, it definitely helped me. I definitely took some nuggets from it now, being around them and knowing what it takes to be, the one, like, I didn't even really care about the league until I really got to Auburn. You know what I mean? When I got to Auburn, that's when I really started kind of like, shit, I'm one step closer. I'm one step closer to it. You know what I mean? And that was, that was a part of, because that's all they talked about, getting drafted and certain agents and combines and all that stuff they talked about. So that kind of got in that and realized, man, I'm here with y'all and I'm just as good. And that was really made me really want to leave and transfer, because I know, we have been talking, Cadillac possibly was going to leave after his junior year, and it was going to be me. It was going to be mine and Ronnie's show. And then Cadillac, for some reason, didn't feel comfortable leaving his junior year, so we came back for his senior year, and I ended up transferring out to Southern Illinois, which I got down there. I wanted to get film. That's what I needed. I needed film because I've been around those guys talking about the NFL all the time. So now I need to get film. I need to get out and I need to play. I need to show people what I can do. And 4th round drafted and went to the Giants, played 9 years, won 2 Super Bowls. So being around those guys definitely helped me, definitely motivated me a little bit more than I would have been if I wouldn't have been around them. So, so I still got something from being there with them.
Yeah, I mean, you were graded after that experience the 11th best running back according to the 2000 or Sports Illustrated, drafted in the 4th round, like you said. And draft night comes, man. You're selected by the New York Giants. You remember draft night? You remember what you drank that night? Hopefully something good, I hope. Like, what was the draft night like?
It was kind of in the morning. I got picked that second day of the draft, so I was just laying around for real, and got the call and was really excited about it. I mean, when I didn't get drafted the first day, I kind of like that chip kind of expeditiously grew on my shoulder. You know what I mean? And I had something to prove to everybody in that class. Really, I outplayed a lot of people who was drafted ahead of me. I outplayed them, and I stayed in longer. You know what I mean? So I had a chip on my shoulder from draft day, man, all the way to when I was done.
Yeah, I mean, and you carry that into the league. I'm reading your combine scores. 6'4", 267 pounds. You ran a 4.5, 640, 19 reps on the bench. I mean, my God. Did anybody want to even tackle you in practice? Like
that 19 reps could have been 30 reps, man. I sprained my elbow 2 weeks prior to the combine. I was running and I tripped and fell. I'm trying to break my fall on the ground, and I hyperextended my elbow. So that kind of played a part in my 19. I mean, I got, like, before I hurt my elbow, I did 31 reps. And I was just like, I could have done more than that. Like at the combine, it was just so painful though. And I told him, like, my elbow is killing me. I can't go. 19 is it. I'm sorry.
You make 19 seem so casual.
Yeah. So when I got my 18, 19, I still had good speed on the bar. I just racked it. I was hurting, man.
So, Brandon, as David mentioned, you were listed at 6'4" and 267 during your playing days. And that's definitely on the larger spectrum for running backs. I think of you as the Derrick Henry from a decade before. And we see defenders that are afraid to tackle him 1v1. So when you were running the ball, did you ever try to target the smaller defenders, the safeties, the corners, using stiff arms or trucking them so that they would try to think twice about tackling you next time?
I wasn't a stiff armor. I used my shoulder. I'm trying to run through your whole life. I'm trying to run through the middle of your chest and just make sure that I own you. Like,
yes.
A stiff arm is not as personal as you being right in your grill when you hit them with your shoulder. They kind of smell you when you hit them and like, God damn, like whenever he smelled whatever deodorant, I like when I was wearing that, like that game, when he smelled that deodorant and any other time in his life, he's gonna think about me.
That is the best quote I've ever heard in my life. That
Yeah.
is
They should have had him be the Old Spice guy.
Yeah, so I wanted to have it like and I like Derrick Henry. I like the way Derrick runs, and it's not his fault that these guys today don't want to hit him. You know.
yeah.
When I played back then, I had linebackers that was defense back then was built to stop the run. When I was playing, you know, you had these big linebackers, these big old D tackles. You know, you had big strong safeties in there that was like 6'3", 240, like that, like playing safety. You know what I mean? So we had guys out there playing like that, like they were like defenses were built to stop the run. You know, if you had a wide receiver on the outside that was 6'5", 6'6", you were winning. You just it's just hard to stop the run and have to guard somebody like that over the top. So, you know, that's kind of what like what we had. But with Derrick, like a lot of these guys now, like you see them approaching him, attacking him, second guessing, doing anything. You know what I mean? And he just treats them like rag dolls and just keep going. You know, I'm a big fan of Derrick's running style.
He took the torch from you well because you kind of set the tone, I think. And before that was Eddie George, who you kind of refined your running style from. And I know that that's where he kind of was Derrick Henry kind of his first year or two in the league, I think, was struggling. And that kind of talking with him helped kind of get him on track. What was it about Eddie George and talking with him that kind of specifically made you the back that you were?
Well, I really liked Eddie George's game, man, and that's kind of what I wanted. Like if you could remember, Eddie George was no big bruising running back that was going to run you over and just treat you like, a child. You know, he had that in him, but he was quick. He had good feet. He put his foot in the ground. He made moves. He set runs up. He read blocks. That's more what I wanted to be. I didn't just want to be a big guy that could just run over anybody. Yeah, I mean, I want to be a guy that I can get there. I can make a cut. I can destroy you one-on-one in open field with a nice juke or two, or I can run you over. So that's kind of what I wanted to be, and that's kind of what Eddie George to me was. He wasn't this guy who just put his shoulder down and moved the pile like 8-9 yards, and he was a legit running back that did great things, being 6'3", 240, whatever he was. Like I really tried to pattern my game after him.
Yeah, so over the next 2 seasons, you did end up rushing for 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns, and of course, winning that Super Bowl. First, sort of what was it like being that dominant? And then you really got to tell me a little bit about what it's like to be part of the biggest upset in Super Bowl history. I mean, how sweet is that?
Well, first of all, on the dominance, I had a great team, great offensive line, man. I had another good running back. I always had good running backs with me as well. I never would have, I never had a chance where I was just a guy toting a rock, which it could be that could be good and bad if you think about it, right? I would like to think I would have had more yards if I would have been the only guy, right? Or there's another part about me that said, well, maybe I wouldn't have played 9 years if I'd have been the only guy because I'd have been beat up and probably would have made it. So, I look at those different those situations. But in my head, I would like to think I would have had more yards. But I had a great offensive line. I had a great staff, man. Like they put me in a position for straight success, and and being a part of that offense and doing what I did, in that offense in those 2 years in particular, you're talking about, like that was kind of our top notch high. Like we were really good. We were really good those 2 years, offensively and defensively. So, making it to the Super Bowl and with that team, now we're talking about the upset. Beating a team that was 18-0 who had beat us early in the season. Well, not early in the season, at the last game of the regular season, they beat us, but it gave us a confidence that we needed to know that we can play with this team. Like we can beat this team. They're really not that good. They're really not that physical. They're just a finesse football team with a 6'5" wide receiver on the outside making plays, and Randy Moss. Like that's what they have. So when we figure that we can hit them and we can be more physical than them, and then we figured out something then. So we get into the second game and just beat them up, man.
Well, you're in a unique position because the first one is such a big game. But how did the second Super Bowl really compare in comparison to the biggest upset? It's the second one. Is it just as sweet, or is it sweeter?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't as sweeter. It wasn't sweeter than the first one. The first one was all time.
It's hard to top.
Yeah, like it's hard to top that when you go and you got a team who was 18-0. They've beaten everybody, including you, and then they were trying to go on a quest of being perfect. I think the Dolphins went 13-0. What did the Dolphins do? I forgot what their record is, but these guys was going to be 19-0 if they'd have won. If they would have beat us in the Super Bowl, and we kind of put a fork in it, man. Like it wasn't happening. Like that's by far the biggest upset in sports history. Like the biggest upset in sports history, and the biggest game in sports history. You know what I mean? Think about that.
There you go.
That's something really, really, not that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Like we made that happen, and that next year, I mean that next Super Bowl season, we were just better than they had a better record. Because their division was weak, just like it always is. I think the AFC East, that's weak. That's weak football. It was weak football then. So they had nobody, threatening them. I think they were like 13-3 again that year when we beat them. But when we played them in Foxborough, we manhandled them easily, like during the season. Then we played them again and manhandled them again in the Super Bowl the second time. So the first time was always better, man. But we knew the second time around that we was going to beat them because we were bigger than what they were. We were more physical than what they were, and we had manhandled them once already that year.
Yeah, and Brent,
and we did it with a lot of injuries.
Yeah, and Brandon, you had mentioned that you worked with some great running backs in your career, and the 2008 season was when you, Derek Ward, and Ahmad Bradshaw earned the nickname Earth, Wind, and Fire. So you had 46.2% of the team's carries that year. Ward had 38.4 and Bradshaw had 14.1. The offense was very reliant on the run that year, and the Giants had a successful season going 12-4. But we haven't seen many three-headed running back committees work. So what was the key to kind of making it go?
Well, Gerald Ingram, man, was our running back coach, man. He treated us. He didn't treat us like his players he coached, right? We were more like family. We did stuff off the field with each other. We had our running back dinner. Like we remained close. We did whatever we had to do. You know what I mean? We took trips and stuff like that together, man. Like we were a real family. Like we got it to a point where that year we subbed ourselves in and out. I started, so I got the first 2 series of the game. Then after that, we alternate every other series. Only if that changed if someone was hot. If someone was hot, then I stay in, bro. Do your thing. You know what I mean? But we alternate every other series, and we'll sub each other out. We would know this body language of each other. Like be like they'll say, be look, you tired, like you taking the beating, bro. Like take it to the sideline. All right, cool. I'm out. And I'll go out there for a couple series, and him and Derek go do the thing, and then I'll be, I'm ready to go now. All right, let's go. So it's just, I credit the way we were with one another to Gerald Ingram, my running back coach at the time, because he made us realize how important each of us was to each other.
So yeah. This is a little out of left field post football. You were on an episode of Law and Order: Criminal Intent.
Yeah.
Like how does that wind up happening? Are you a big fan of the show or?
Man, I wasn't actually, man. I ended up getting this gig through the NFL. They wanted a Giants player because it was right in New York. They were doing it there, and I got opportunity to go on there. I wanted to make a little bit more of a career out of that, but I didn't do the necessary things. This is still not too late, but I didn't want to do the necessary things and pay all of this money for all of this different training and doing all this. Didn't want to do all this.
So we shouldn't get you and Nnamdi Asomugha to start making an NFL movie company or something.
No. Nnamdi trying to do something like that?
He's just in an Amazon movie with Tessa Thompson.
Really? Nnamdi, man. Guy had the world in his hands, man. I think he ended up getting hurt though when he was over in Philly. First NFL power team was that year when he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a big Raiders fan, so that's his always dream guest to talk to. He's always.
He started with the Raiders, right? He was drafted with the Raiders.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was by far the best player for so many years on the Raiders.
He was like when he went to Philly, he was on the he was on the end of his career, but then he ended up getting hurt. I think he was special, man.
He really was. We're talking with the juggernaut, two-time Super Bowl champ, Brandon Jacobs. Brandon, we like to get our guests out of here, and I want to be respectful of your time with a little bit of just a rapid fire, a little bit of this or that style, some questions you probably have never been asked before. You game?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
All right. Number 1, score a touchdown or win a deal on Shark Tank?
Score a touchdown.
Yeah, but that Shark Tank must have been scary, though. It looks scary on TV.
It was scary, but I learned so much about the business part of the Shark Tank thing. So I say score a touchdown.
You gave a great answer when they said, "Why don't you buy it?" And you said, "I'm an endorser." I love that answer.
Yeah, I'm an endorser. What am I buying? I'm an endorser. It's free for me.
I love it. Would you rather finish your career as you did, or you get 1 extra year in the league, but you have to shrink down to Darren Sproles' size for that year?
I'm done. I'll take my
All right, I like it. Would you rather have a sandwich be made by 4 random ingredients in your fridge, or you trust me to make you 4-ingredient sandwich of my choosing?
There's no difference in that question.
So you just look in your fridge right now, 4 random ingredients in there, or I could pick 4 ingredients myself of anything. Do you trust me to make it for you?
No, I don't. It's the same question. Or trusting you to get four ingredients to make a sandwich. I still don't know. It's still random either way. So it's the same thing. So I say no to that.
Yeah. You don't want to trust David in that sly smile he's got right now.
That's true. That's fair. All right, Brandon, do you pull your toilet paper from the bottom or the top?
I use wipes.
That's okay. You know what? I've heard that before, and I heard.
So let's say it's roll. So pull it down. So I pull it from the top.
Yeah, you pull it down, or you like go under.
Pull it from the top.
But I've heard once you go wipes, you can't go back. That's true.
Back. What I do now, I take my wipes. I take 2 wipes. I put a little sheet of toilet paper right in the middle of them. Because the wet, the wipes are moist. If you wipe with moist wipes, it could potentially go through to your fingers. So I put the toilet paper in between.
It's a wipe sandwich.
Is there a bidet in your future, Brandon? Are you going to invest in a bidet?
Yeah, you know what though? I've stayed in vacation houses with bidets. It just feels strange, man. It's feel like it's not for us to do. That's not. We should.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so next one. Would you rather fight like Mike Tyson or fight against Mike Tyson, or you have to talk like Mike Tyson the rest of your life?
I'll fight him.
You're the first person.
I can't talk like that the rest of my life. Well, shit. I guess after fighting him, I might end up talking like that.
It's kind of a lose-lose in that case.
Yeah.
My defense is impregnable.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather?
Out of all the people we've asked, you're the only one that says they'd fight him, and I might take you.
Yeah, actually,
I'd definitely fight him. But I'm taller than him. I'm more athletic than a lot of guys he was in the ring with when he was younger. Just standing there taking punches, he's gonna have to run behind me a little bit.
Oh yeah. All right, next one. Would you rather be able to control the earth, the wind, or the fire? Or fire?
Like basically sick either of the 3 on anybody I want type thing.
Yeah, kind of like Avatar.
Kind of superhero type thing.
Yeah.
The fire.
Okay. I like it. We got a couple more for you. Would you rather be able to speak to your past or your future self?
Oh, future self. I would love to be able to speak to my future self. Absolutely.
No hesitation either.
No, I'm so much smarter. I'm so much smarter now than I was when I was 20, than I was when I was 28 years old. You know what I mean? So future self, easy.
All right, I like it. We got our last 3 here for you. Would you rather, or no, okay, let me phrase this one. You can only use one, a fork, a spoon, or a knife for all of your meals. Which one are you choosing? There's only one right answer for it.
A spoon.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Brandon.
But wait. Think about this. You pick a fork, right?
Yeah.
All your meals, you can't use no other utensils, just the fork, right? Tell me how you're
Yeah.
going to eat soup.
I'll
How
drink
would
it
you
out of
eat
the
slurp it,
thing. Yeah.
or you get chunky. You get like chunky soup.
Spoons can cut just as well as a fork can.
Let me ask you, how are you going to eat salad or pasta with a spoon?
Yeah.
Like, listen, like you just said, right? Tilt it up.
All right. Well, Brandon, answer me this.
Because I'm a big fan of cereal. I can't eat cereal with a fork.
You're right. The cereal is the one I was hoping you wouldn't bring.
No,
up. That
because
would be
I eat cereal with a fork, and it just so it drains the milk out, and I can eat the actual cereal.
You eat cereal with a fork, then why do you even use milk?
Well, just because it softens the cereal up.
David, that's a psychopath move, man.
Brandon's like, what did I get into?
Yes, yeah, that's like my youngest son don't drink the milk either. He put it on his cereal, he eat it, and he just put it in the sink. Like, at least dump it out in the drain, dude. Don't just sit the bowl of.
Okay, so that I agree. Like, yeah, you got to at least dump it out. But the fork's purpose, you can drain the cereal off without drinking the milk.
Well, I want the milk, so I need my spoon.
Okay.
Cocoa Puffs, milk is half the fun.
Fair enough. All right, last
All right.
two. Brandon, I'm coming to tackle you. Out of 10 times, how many times am I bringing you down?
0.
Yeah.
Not even one.
Not once.
Yeah, David, you could try to trip him and he'll break your leg.
I mean, I'm kind of strong. Maybe not Brandon Jacobs strong.
Not once. No, not once.
What about if all three of us tried to gang tackle you? Can we get you once?
Oh yeah, you give me like that, but telling you, somebody gonna come up.
I don't know. Eric's really short.
That's why I said the three of us.
Somebody gonna get whoever the first person is to make contact. Out of the three of you, is gonna be in trouble.
So Eric, you can go in front.
You got to be sure. Y'all got to be right there, like a half a second behind each other. But one guy come first, and you guys leave him hang out to dry for like 5 seconds by himself. He's done.
Oh my God, Eric, you could take one for the team then.
All right, I lived a good life.
Our last question: better feeling looking back, beating the 07 Patriots or giving Tom Brady 2 out of his 3 Super Bowl losses?
Beating an undefeated Tom Brady. That's your question. Either better feeling out of the two is beating an undefeated Tom Brady or beating him twice in the Super Bowl.
Beating like the undefeated team or beating Tom Brady 2 out of his 3 losses?
Beating Tom Brady 2 out of his 3 losses. It's professional sports. So nobody's supposed to go undefeated.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I get so tired of hearing about Tom Brady. I'm a Chiefs fan too, so I've had enough of like hearing everything about him. So I that's why I was really excited to get you on. I was like, we have the guy that can take him down.
Yeah, nah, man. It was just physicality, a whole bunch of noise being talked, and dirty hitting after the play. That's what we did. We didn't care. I mean, we were 10-16. We barely won our division. But actually, that year we didn't. We was a wild card, so we were like, doesn't matter. We get one extra game, we get one extra trick. It doesn't even matter. But we just kept going. We didn't really care about anything.
No, I mean, y'all were like, I mean, you had the great defense, the great running game, you had the clutch Eli Manning plays. I mean, you had it all, man. It was like that. No wonder you guys were able to pull it out. It was awesome to watch for sure.
Yeah, it was good, man. I really enjoyed that run. That was like the best run. But the best win in that whole season, that whole playoff thing was the beating the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas after they won the division, went 13-3. We played them in a divisional round. You get the number 1 seed, and we go smoke them at their house. It was awesome. That was the best win of that whole run, not the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yes,
that's a take right there. I love it.
Yes, beating the Cowboys in our division. I hated the Cowboys. They was 13-3 at the time. Jerry Jones, he would have that little ugly smile on his face, and they just thought that they were God gifted to the sport, man. It was just they were just everything. It was just so arrogant. I'm like, I can't stand Dallas. So when we went there and played them and beat them in their house in a divisional round to go to Green Bay, yeah, that was awesome. That was the best thing ever.
Brandon, talking to you today has me wanting to take a football and just throw it at something. I'm so pumped up right now. Really appreciate you coming on the show and hanging out with us today. It was a blast.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys be good, man.
Hey, you too, man. Is there anything before we get out of here that you just want to plug one more time, with the North Atlanta Giants or social media or anything like that?
Man, I just want to tell everybody, man, be safe, take care of one another, have great humanities, and live with respect and respect your neighbor. That's it. Nothing really to plug. Just all having, being respectful of the people around you.
That wise words said. I can't top that. Again, want to thank Brandon. Want to thank everybody for listening and tuning in. We'll catch you all soon with another episode. Stay safe. Catch y'all later.
Good.
See you, Brandon.
See ya.